Product universe here. The media could not stand President Trump's and President Bukele of El Salvador's common sense. This moment was incredible to see.
Like, do you allow men to play in women's sports? Do you allow men to box your women and box? Because I know you have a lot of boxers.
That's violence.
That's abuse of a
Violence
woman.
against women.
It's abuse of a
Totally.
woman. But we have people that fight to the death because they think men should be able to play in women's sports. And some of those sports, it wouldn't matter much, but it still matters. But some of them are very dangerous for women.
Some years ago, like you said, a decade ago or so, women rights movements were pressuring so that we enacted specific laws to avoid men abusing women. And I think those laws were great because there were a lot of men abusing women. But now some of the same people are trying to backtrack on that and actually trying to make new laws allowing men to abuse women in sport. So actually, that doesn't make sense.
Sports.
It doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. You know, they have weightlifting records, right?
Yeah.
A woman gets up this way, she's incredible. A guy gets up and beats her by 100 pounds. What are you going to do? A record that hadn't been broken in 18 years. You know, they put on an ounce, quarter of an ounce, eighth of an ounce for 18 years. Now they have a guy come up, ping. The whole thing is crazy. But they continue to fight. And I don't like talking about it because I want to save it for just before the next election. I say to my people, don't even talk about it because they'll change. And but I watched this morning, there was a congressman fighting to the death for men to play against women in sports. And you say to yourself, why? What are they doing, right? What are they doing? But your country's not too big in that.
No, of course not. We're big in protecting women.
Good. That's right. It's a very important form of protection, too.
And as you can see, most of my cabinet are women, so.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's why you
And
run
they're
it.
not DEI hires or anything.
They
They're
can
just
be.
great at what they do. Right?
That's right. This is very impressive.
Yeah,
This is a first. We've had women, but we've never had three of them right here. That's
4 and 3
And
men.
look at what we have. You guys feel a little bit mistreated? That's good. I like it. Well, we've been advanced. I've been very advanced in that regard too. We have Pam, who's been so
Yes, I know.
fantastic.
And
Christy, and the most powerful woman they say
I
anywhere in the
know,
world.
exactly.
She's rated.
They're all afraid of her.
Susie Wells, they say, oh, she's tough.
Yeah.
Most powerful woman in the world, according to magazines. What do I know?
Yes.
But I think she probably is.
Yeah.
You know, she probably is.
Congratulations.
And you know, Stephen, who's done such a great job. We have great
He's
people.
very famous too.
But we love working with him. He really lets them have it, right?
Yeah, exactly.
There's no games.
No. It's very good.
He knows.
The media could not stand or believe what President Trump and President Nayib Bukele of El Salvador had to say about men playing in women's sports. The media could not stand the common sense which was on full display. Common sense, as biological men have an unfair advantage competing against biological women in women's sports, as according to science and anatomy, biological men are bigger, faster, and stronger than women. According to a Princeton study, the absolute total body strength of a biological woman is 67% of that of a biological man. Males have roughly a 33% advantage in absolute total body strength compared to women, as biological males have more strength potential with more ability to put on muscle than biological women. So like President Trump and President Bukele were discussing, it is totally unfair and unreasonable that men are able to compete in women's sports. It is abuse that men would be able to play against women, especially in contact sports, where substantial physical damage can be done through injuries. It is not fair to women that they have to play at a 33% disadvantage against men, like we have seen in weightlifting competitions, swimming, and boxing, where men have dominated women in women's sports and won these types of events, setting new records. Like Leah Thomas, the male swimmer who won the women's 500-yard freestyle college national championship for swimming in 2022, as well as him breaking almost all of the fastest time records in women's college swimming. As well, a man won the Olympic gold medal for women's boxing in the welterweight and featherweight divisions at the last Olympics. It is crazy that this is allowed to happen, where biological men posing as women can compete against biological women in women's sports. It is so unbelievably crazy, but we do live in a crazy world which has lost its common sense. President Trump is trying to revive common sense, merit, and fairness. He is trying to stand up for women, as he is a great supporter of women, with many powerful women in his cabinet. He employs some of the greatest female minds the world has ever seen, such as Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, and Susie Wiles. Susie Wiles, his chief of staff, who happens to be one of the most powerful women in the world, the mastermind of the Trump 2024 campaign. It was beautiful to see El Salvador's President Bukele's women cabinet as well. This was an awesome moment between close allies dismantling the woke agenda and ideology, arguing for common sense and protecting women, to give women a fair playing field in women's sports, an issue we can all agree on. This deserves to be shared because the media could not stand President Trump and President Bukele's common sense. But that's just my 2 cents, and you're entitled to your 2 cents. If you want, share your opinion in the comments below, as all viewpoints are welcome. If you enjoyed this informational and educational video, then give the video a like and turn on my channel notifications so that you'll be notified the next time I release a new video. Thanks for watching. God bless you, and God bless America.